sweetheart. I'm coming to check up on you because I noticed your light was still on and... Honey, what are you doing? It's well past 2 a.m. You shouldn't be awake, let alone sitting at your desk. Did you procrastinate on your homework again? No? Then what are you doing up? You're having trouble going to sleep? Oh, you don't want to go to sleep. I see. Are you all grown up now? A responsible adult. All right. I'll respect it. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Even adults have a bedtime too. Your father goes to sleep at 10 p.m. every single night because he has to wake up really early in the morning and have enough rest to get him through the day. Yes, really. I'm not kidding. I'm not making it up. Well, I stay up late because I work the most at night. A lot of my work requires focus, alone time. And as much as I love you and your father, sometimes it gets a little difficult to have some time to myself. Yep, that's why I sleep in a little. Your father takes care of you before you go study, and I take care of you more in the afternoon. Works out nicely, doesn't it? Of course, I'm not making this up. Come on, turn off the light. Oh, you need a deal? Okay. If you go into bed, I'll turn out the lights, well, except for your lamp, of course, and I'll tell you a bedtime story. Just like old times. How does that sound? Well, even grown-ups like telling stories too, you know. Maybe not so much like fairy tales, but more like memories. Remind each other of things that we've done together, or embarrassing stories from when we were in college. Things like that. So we're still sort of the same. It's just different topics, that's all. So come on. One night, you lay down. I'll sit by the bed, not tell you a story. Hopefully it'll help you go to sleep, okay? Good. Alright. Get yourself in, all comfortable. There. Feel good? Okay. Well, let's see. Here's your favorite animal. And let's get settled in here, alright? Nope. This is going to be a completely new story. One that I've been working on just a little while I'm burning the midnight oil, so to speak. Staying up late, working on, well, my hobbies as a break from work. Yeah, I hope it's good. That's why I'm writing it. Now come on. Are you ready? Good. And remember, your end of the deal is you need to actually try to go to sleep. Otherwise, I may take away your laptop for a little bit. Good. Okay, let's see. Once upon a time, there was a young man, strong, handsome, and brave. But It was only in his head. The truth is, he was more fragile, scared and timid, at least when he was out and about in public. At home, he was a brave warrior. He could do anything he wanted. Same with his friends. They just had the same mentality of being strong, brave, smart. Maybe that's right. Maybe he was just a little shy. But regardless of that fact, he had some trouble talking to people. Sure, it was shyness, but he also didn't really feel like upsetting people. So instead of trying to talk to people, to help a lot, and to engage, he stayed quiet a lot, stayed in his room. The only times he would go out would be to be with his friends, and even then they went out to more of the quiet places, like in the fields and the meadows, or in a tree house, correct. Now, one day, one of his friends had a cousin who came over for the weekend. She was this very brave, strong young lady. She was a little older than them too. She was very smart, brave, and everything that the little boy wanted to be. She took charge of the group, at least for that time being, as she realized that nobody really knew what to do. Usually the group played, and it was a chaotic mess, because there was no order. And usually a couple of fights would break out. So when she saw that one of those little fights was going to happen, she took control and suggested everyone have a chance to play as leader. Today is the day of pirates, where they were the strongest of those on the 7 seas. They would go through the oceans and find the best ships to take control over, taking the crew, making them their own, as well as fighting any storms that came by or monsters of the sea. It was very fun. Each of the boys took turns taking lead. Every single time they had a new ship, each new boy would take control. And for the most part, it was really good. They all had a lot of fun. But when it was that one boy's turn, and he was the last, he froze up. He didn't want to upset his friends, make the wrong choices, as the girl's job was to be the enemy. And she was a very formidable one at that. So, when she realized that he was having trouble, she took him aside and asked if she wanted him, or if he wanted her, to go easy. To see if he wanted to win very quickly, or if he wanted to be challenged, just like the others. Well, he chose that he wanted to be challenged, but he said to her that she was scared. He was scared of messing up, and if he failed, his friends would not be happy with him or want to play with him again. Well, at first, she laughed a little bit and called him silly for thinking such a thing. She said that his friends are his friends for life, and the fact that just because he might make a mistake now doesn't mean that they won't want to play with him again. You make a good point. They would be upset, yes, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. This is make-believe after all, and they can always try again. There were some days where they would play, and yes, they would lose, but they would try again the next day, and they would win. And when she learned this, she told him that even if he didn't do too well today, tomorrow would be better. But for today, she told him to take those feelings of being strong, confident, and brave, that's all in his mind, and to use that to his advantage. If he believes he's strong, he can be strong. Maybe he'll need to work on it a little bit, but he can be strong. If he feels like he can be confident, then stand tall, puff out your chest, and take control of the situation. And to be smart. Well, she said he was already smart. He was just very cautious. In a way, he was just holding back because he was afraid of doing poorly. She told him that the world needs people like him. Brave, strong, confident individuals to lead the young generation into greater things. Things that he wanted to do when he grew up, but due to his shyness and hesitance, he was scared to. So she told him to practice that strength in this game, to beat her, the Sea Witch, and to take control of the final ship, as it will be his ship to take. It took him a little bit, and a lot of encouragement from his friends, but soon enough, he decided that it was time to use that strength, that confidence, and the bravery, and the leadership that he knew he had buried inside him. And he led the troops, the crewmen, I suppose, against the Sea Witch. And after one big battle, well, the pirates were victorious. The Sea Witch was captured, tied up, and catapulted into space. And these kids were maybe 8 to 10 years old, so anything is possible. And after that, they had a large celebration dinner, and they were happy. The little boy was happy and proud of himself for taking charge, and while it was just a game, he felt a little more confident in himself. That it's okay to be scared, but to remember who you are, and realize that, well, with a little bit of belief in yourself, you can accomplish anything. You thought it was alright? Just alright? Well, there is actually a lot more detail, and that's only the first chapter. There's a lot more that goes into this story, like how the boys grow up, what happens to the girl, all of that. But, well, it seems like it's already 2:15, 2:20, and you, my dear, need to sleep. You want to hear more stories? How's this sound? As long as you promise not to stay up so late, at the very most 11 o'clock. We'll find a day, or a night rather, once a week where I can visit you before you sleep and tell you another story. It could be any genre you want. Fantasy, horror, action, sleepy time stuff. You know, anything. I'll do it. Deal? Okay, good. You know your mother has a lot of stories. Yes, I do work on them a lot. But for now, it's time for you to sleep. You need your rest. Good night, sweetheart. Mother loves you very much. Tomorrow, after you sleep, get rested, we can talk more about that deal.